My name is Nadine van der Reijner, and I'll be your host today. On our show, we'll have the lovely and talented as well as successful Delmain Fortuin.
Hi and welcome to the Success Template. Delmine, can you please tell us more about yourself?
Um, I am Delmain Forte, known as Lady Diesel I Rise, from No Journey, No Life Motivational Speaking. I'm born and bred in Port Elizabeth. I grew up in Helenville, and then my mother moved to Missionville, where I spent most of my life. I'm a mother of three beautiful young babies, and I have a full-time employment at Exact Financial Services. I am a forex trader, I'm a mentor, I'm a philosopher, and I'm also an entrepreneur of Jet Production Holdings, CEO of Jet Production Holdings, which consists of five businesses, including AJ Function Hire and Events, Divine Cleaning Services, and Beauty Bold and Brave by Lady D. That's the beauty products, and then Beauty Bold Brave by Lady D boutique as well as YT printing services. I've been in business for 5 years now. I just recently started my motivational speaking career, which kicked off in February. I also have my own website where listeners and viewers who wants to book me can basically go and look at my references in my bio and who Lady Disa Arise is. So I'm also a survivor of bipolar. I've been living with bipolar basically for 17 years. And bipolar basically started with depression from high school where I graduated my grade 12. I went to Otto du Plessis High School, finished my studies at NNMU in a diploma of National Tourism Management. I'm currently also a student at the University of Malawi and I'm studying through the World Bank as well. I'm taking my finance career further. So I'm also a mentee for cryptocurrency. So I do quite a lot of things in my life and I don't do not limit myself. So I'm a full time in everything I do it full time. That's basically a short version of Lady D.
Wow, that's amazing. What would you say is are you most passionate about out of all of the things that you just spoke about?
Out of all of the things that I just mentioned,
Yes.
what I'm passionate about, Nadine, is my purpose. Because I do believe that I do have a purpose and I was awoken about my purpose in 2020 when Councillor Teslan Boyson spoke something at my 30th birthday. He mentioned that our purpose, he mentioned something about having a purpose, and that was a wake-up call for me. Through my path where I came from with bipolar, everything that I went through in life, growing up in an alcohol abusive household for more than 28, 30 years, has awoken my purpose inside of me. And that is basically what drives me and what drives me to be Lady Diesel I Rise. What drives me to do everything because I believe I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Wow, that's powerful. Um, you
Yes.
said you have your own website, right? So on
Yes.
your website, there's a slogan that I love. Can you please tell us where the inspiration of that slogan comes from?
Is it regarding the No Journey, No Life slogan or the Still I Rise?
The Still I Rise one. You love
Or should
to,
I do both?
yes.
The Still I Rise. Um, I'll do both. I'll do
Okay.
both.
Yes.
So Lady D Still I Rise. Still I Rise has been there since 2009. Basically, when I started my first year, I was also pregnant when I went to varsity. When I went to university, I was my in my first year I was pregnant and I went. It was actually the first pregnant student going to campus.
Wow.
So Still I Rise was an adopted slogan from the Maya Angelou poem. You know, I found myself one day being depressed, being felt left because I also came from a bullying community, you know, where young girls are often, how can I put this? We are often targets of criticism in
Yeah.
society. We are often targets where people break us in. So I found myself in a deep depressing state. And I just came across the Maya Angelou poem. I actually had a book with Maya Angelou's poems and everything she written down. And I understood where and why she written that poem because I told myself that I'm going to adopt this. This is going to be my motto. This is going to be my driving force. This is going to be what will keep me motivated in life. And I adopted the slogan, Still I Rise. And while I was reading that, crying, I remember why every time I have a setback, there's a comeback.
Yeah.
And they may shoot me with their eyes, but still I rise. And when
It's
you
a
when you
powerful
listen to
quote.
Maya Angelou, actually, when you listen to that poem, it's deep, it's very deep, it's a very
Mm.
deep poem. And
Yes.
I adopted the slogan, and people started calling me Lady D Still I Rise, Lady D Still I Rise, because every post on Facebook will have Still I Rise. And it
Yeah.
was a reminder for me as well that still you rise in every event, in every challenge, situation, or circumstance that I found myself. I have risen. And so that's where Lady D Still I Rise come from. The No Journey, No Life. I was working at Sears and Debonairs during the 2010 World Cup. So I was working there and as a cashier. I started working as a waitress and then I was promoted to a cashier position. That was right before I went to do my internship at the Yumura Hotel. So this Japanese old guy came to me and handed me a card. He showed me, I still have a photo of the doll he gave me. He said I should keep it in my hand and take a photo. And he said to me that your destiny is very huge. And
Wow.
in Japanese, we have a saying that says, no journey, no life. You need to have a journey in order for you to have a life.
Yeah.
So that when you have a journey, you can always look back at your life and say, no, wow, this journey is from God. So that's when No Journey, No Life started in 2010 when I met this old Japanese guy touring to South Africa during the Soccer World Cup. So I've been having the No Journey, No Life. Every time when I do my journaling, I have I write both slogans down. No journey, no life, and still I rise is a reminder of a constant reminder of where I'm going to with my purpose. So that's where the two slogans are coming from. That's where the roots and that's how they derived in my life. They are basically descendants from people, one that I've met and one that is my inspiration. Because Maya Angelou is really an inspiration for me.
It really is.
And what she went through as well
Mm.
is also an inspiration for me. So that's where both slogans come from.
That's powerful. So you said that you went through mental health issues in your past, right?
Yes.
And there's two questions that I want to ask you regarding mental health. The first one would be, what would you give, what advice would you give to someone going through mental health currently? And what kept you motivated during your struggles while you went through your mental health challenges?
Um, Advice I would give to someone out there that's challenged with mental health. You know, for me, I'm grateful. I'm not gonna say I'm lucky. I am
Mm.
lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones because if I can count how many times I've tried to commit suicide, because mental health affects everyone. Mental health is everyone. Everyone in the world get to a mental state. And mental health starts with stress. From stress, it goes to depression. from depression, it either goes to bipolar or it goes to anxiety attacks or stuff like that. And we've seen many people committed suicide through that because they felt that everything is too hectic, everything is too much. So my advice would be to start doing things that you love. Start loving yourself as much as anything. God first, you second. Start journaling. Start talking about how you feel. The first step in mental health is acknowledging that you have a problem, acknowledging that you have the situation, you are in the situation, and accept it. Once you make acceptance, I had to make peace with my situation. I had to tell myself, Dalmain, this is what you are currently going through. This is what the doctors are saying. I've been diagnosed with bipolar in 2012, and it was the highest level and form of bipolar disorder. Actually, it's a mood disorder that fluctuates. So I had to master that. And through mastering that, I mean by changing your mindset,
Mm.
is by changing what you think, changing how you feel. If you feel sad, immediately change it into something positive. I also practice the reverse psychology, where is something negative will come on my way and I will just try to put it into something positive. So reverse psychology, first you get a journal, because sometimes talking to people, especially people that knows you, people judge you. They will judge you and treat you based on what you tell them. For me, it's better to disclose to strangers. But I have confined in my journal since 2007. I have a couple of journals that small books that are currently, and I have a current journal now that is almost halfway. So I write journals. I write my thoughts, my feelings, everything I go through. I write it down. Number two, change your mindset. Change the way you think. Change the way you speak to yourself.
Yeah.
Speak positively to yourself. Speak life into yourself. Speak good things to yourself. That will make you feel good, so that no one else that comes with a negative thing to you can jeopardize that feeling. You are telling yourself, I'm built for greater heights. I'm built for good things. So if someone comes along and tells you that, you know what, you'll never make it in life, you say, you know what, you are not God, but because I have a destiny, I have a purpose, I have goals, I have dreams. That's number two. Number three, I would say number three would be your surroundings, the people that you are surrounding yourself with. Surround yourself with positive people, people that are showing growth, people that are showing, um, people that are basically showing, or that are on a higher level as yourself. Because once you level yourself with people on the same level as you, yes, there's no problem in that. But how will you guys be motivating each other? How will you inspire each other? Or people that are below you that wants to criticize you, that don't see the good in you, walk away from those people. So your circle also counts. I'm not gonna say eat healthy, because sometimes I also eat everything, even though I'm gymming.
Yeah.
Guys, exercise, do gymming, start having activities, do things that makes you feel good, do things that makes you stand out, take risks. Don't be afraid of fear. Fear is the main thing that cripples us, because now we fear to take risks. We fear trying, want to be in a comfort zone whereby we get used to our situations. We accept average while God gives us unlimited. The grace is sufficient to all of us, but grace can only be sufficient or more than sufficient for you if you work on what God is giving you. If you work with what God is giving you. So sometimes we limit ourselves and we accept the fact that people say bad things to us. So I had to basically move away from negativity, move away from people that are always making excuses, complaining and moaning and all of that. I walk away from such people, because those are negative energies. And sometimes we adopt those negative energies. Sometimes when we find ourselves in a situation whereby we are in a negative environment, we adapt those, and those are certain factors that contributes to mental health. Those are certain factors that contributes to our mental state. Because when I'm angry now, someone makes me angry, I'll tell myself, I'll calm down and just tell myself that, you know what, it's not worth it to be angry. It's not worth it to feel this anger. No, I'm happy. Make yourself happy.
Yeah.
Number 6, number 5, make yourself happy. Love yourself as much as anything. I've already mentioned self-love. So
Yeah.
that is strategies that I've adopted in my life, especially after coming out of a toxic, very toxic relationship that stagnate me. And I think people can really see now who was a toxic person in the relationship, because I've been a motivated person throughout my life. I've never cared what people say or what people think, because I had this motto: if my mother says you look good, if my mother says good things to me, I don't worry about what the people say when I walk out of the door. But whenever I walk out of the door, I make sure that I am a light. I make sure that my smile is a beacon of hope, because we are the light of earth, we are the salt of earth, and that's how God wants us to basically live. So regardless of where you come from, what your circumstances are, mental health is everyone. You can be good now your life can be honky dory, and then the next moment you just find yourself in a. You can get married now, and in the first few years your marriage will be fine. After that, give it 2 3 years, and you find out, no man, maybe I made a big mistake or so. Not that I'm saying that marriage should not be for everyone or whatever, but I'm just saying that mental health is anywhere, everywhere. You can lose someone close to you now, and that's basically in 2012 when it hit me so hard, Nadine, because I've lost so many people. I first lost my grandmother in 2007, and it was really, 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 really hard for me. And that's where it started. It's not to say that it started there, but also coming from an alcohol abusive household. But all those things were barriers that I turned into something great, that I told myself, I'm not going to let these barriers stagnate my life. I'm not going to choose this barriers to dictate my destiny or dictate where I'm going to, because I said to myself that my start will never be my end.
Yeah.
How I started is not how I'm going to end. So in a nutshell, that's what I would say. That's the advice I would give to people out there that are struggling with mental health, that are having this much more. I can go on and on the whole day, but our time is limited. So yeah, let's just have it there. But that's how I basically manage.
Mental health. That's a powerful answer, Yamain, and I'm sure there's someone who can learn from that and take the advice. Another question regarding mental health is there's still a big stigma regarding mental health, but there's a spiritual aspect behind mental health illnesses. Can we dive into that a bit? The spiritual aspect.
Well, that's true. That's very true, because um I've seen it, and I am one of those victims of, having a calling and then you disobey. I'm one of them. It's just that sometimes we don't know, that we don't have the direction of how to go ahead in spirituality, or it's not uncertain, because for me, I had so many dreams where God showed me that this is my purpose, this is my calling. But I remember having a dream in 2012 where God called me. He called me, literally told me that I want you to work for me. I want you to do missionary work for me. And this is a dream I haven't shared with most people.
Mm.
I shared it with a few people, and from that there was confirmations, there was prophecies over my life. And prophecies, when I speak about prophecies, I speak about positive prophecies, that I confirm that this is the truth. You understand? So there is a spiritual attachment, because in some cultures as well, we find that it's a calling to be a traditional healer. It's a calling to be, it's a guide from your guides to show you that this is what you need to practice. So I believe I'm also in that direction. I'm also somewhere there. It is confirmed. It was confirmed. It was prophesied over my life so many times, but different people I don't know. some I know. And yes, there is a spiritual attachment to it. And I've seen it in hospital when I was in hospital, admitted to hospital. I've seen that. And it is true that some people are called, we are not crazy. We
No,
can see things. And
not at
once you
all.
are in your spiritual, full spiritual realm, once you are in your full spiritual realm, you can actually see things that people don't see.
Yeah,
But sometimes we have to hide it from doctors because of medical terms.
yeah,
You know, in my circumstances, they give my calling a name that's called bipolar medically,
yeah,
but spiritually it's not bipolar, you understand?
yeah,
So when you are basically in a hospital, you can't tell the doctors what you see. You
yeah,
can't tell them, because they call it hallucinations. They
yeah,
call it, and then our dreams also, we can't disclose our dreams just to anyone.
yeah.
We need to pray on it so God can give us light and guidance. And also what I'm saying is true. You understand? So it's not a pretense, it's not something that I'm pretending about.
Mm.
It's something that has happened. And some people prevent me from talking about it. Some people, there are pastors out there that doesn't want me to talk about these things, you know. And yes, I've learned that the hard way, that certain things are sacred. That's why I believe in a sacred relationship with God. I don't need to expose my relationship with God to anyone because I know what I carry inside of me. It's a God that I'm carrying inside of me. I'm working in spirit. I'm working in faith. That's why I'm saying to you that I know God is with us right now in this
Yeah.
interview. He's with me every minute, every second. That I'm conscious of his spirit, of his Holy Spirit. So everything I do, God is always a part of it.
Wow.
So
I,
that's basically my
I love the answers that you give us. It's so real and honest. So I just have to ask you the last question, and that is, how do you define success?
success for me is a mindset. It's a mindset that success is accessible to everyone in the world. Everyone, regardless of who you are. Success is accessible, but it's what you do to get success. It's how you keep your success. It's not the car, it's not the house, it's not, yes, those are achievements. Those are basically achievements that we achieve. Your graduation, whatever, those are achievements. But success for me is what you do with what you have to keep it for long term, to be able to, for that success to last another 10 years, 5 years. Because some people had success and they lost it. Some
Mm.
people had success and it's success. If you base yourself successfully on materialistic things, you can lose it anytime. But if you base your success on things such as skills, experiences, you know, teaching yourself more skills, equipping yourself with more knowledge. And knowledge can only be power if it is executed. It can never be power if you're gonna sit. You can have, that's why people have grade 12 and they are sitting on their grade 12. You understand? You go to school for 12 years of your life just for you to sit and wait for success to come. No, that's not how God works. That's not how success works. Success is a mindset.
Yeah.
Success is not what you have, what you own in life. It's just that you need to multiply. You need to keep on multiplying. You need to keep on adding, because
Yeah.
I believe there's a saying that if you listen to songs, even J. Cole mentioned in a song that All My Life, he says, it can be gone in an instant.
Yeah.
You can have it now and it can be gone in a very short. Even the Bible talks about it, like Job. Job lost everything, but God gave him, he gave him more than what he lost. You
Yeah.
understand? So sometimes we can lose success. We can lose it if we don't know how to keep on multiplying what we have in success. That's why for me, success is not materialistic things. I was successful even before having a car. I don't have a car yet, but I'm just making an example. I was successful even before I bought my house. Yes, I bought a house. I was successful even before that. That's why for me, success is not the materialistic things you have in life. Success is a mindset. And success, when it is a mindset, it's accessible to everyone. That is my view on success. Some people might differ and some people might have different views. But that's my view when it comes to success. It's a mindset and it's accessible to those who want to take it. And it's accessible to everyone. But it's only some people that wants to be successful because other people they make excuses of their and I would dwell on excuses because I've seen even on my mentorship, I have a group of plus minus 100 mentees that I'm teaching forex trading for free. And I can see some people don't want success. You take the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink, unfortunately. You understand? And with the economy that we are living in this world, you can still achieve success if your mindset is right. I had to change my mindset. Yes, I was successful. I am successful before I am where I am now. But I'm empowering my mindset every single day. Mindset is like something that needs to be serviced all the time. So you need to service your mindset, your mind, your mentality, your character, your personality, because how you portray yourself in part to other people is the type of character you are dealing with, the type of character you are showing to people. So for me, success is basically a mindset that is accessible to everyone and anyone out there. It's just that you need to go and get it. So that's how my definition of success is.
Powerful words, Delmain. Thank you so much for joining us on the Success Template. We are still a small YouTube channel, but we love having you and being able to share your story. I've always admired your journey, and from day one, we wanted you on the show. So thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you, Nadine, and to your team as well. It's an honor. Yes, you should never use the word small, because if you say small, I believe in I told someone at the office yesterday, she kept on saying, I don't have money. I said, start speaking positive affirmations to yourself. I don't call myself a small business anymore because I know I'm not small. God is putting me on big levels. He's going to put me on big. So I believe that this is your start, but it will never be your end. God is going to multiply your territory. He's going to multiply what you have now. You understand? And for me also, this is the start for me. You understand? And I will never forget this moment because it's where I'm starting. I will always come back and say, you know what? The success template, I was there, I've been there, I'm coming from there. You understand? So in 5 years from now, you might be doing international interviews with international artists or whatever. So I believe that there's something for all of us out there.